Right, everybody, we are with episode 1 after the EIN series. Okay, so I know everyone has seen these videos everywhere from TikTok to Facebook to Instagram where they're telling you, hey, go ahead and get your EIN, which is your employer identification number, for your limited liability company. All right, so now you've gotten your EIN for your LLC. What are you supposed to do with it now? What state will your LLC be incorporated? What organizational structure are you going to use? What persons and entities will be members of your LLC? What percentage will each of those members own in the LLC? What happens should a member become incapacitated, die, or just wish to transfer their interest in the LLC? Who's going to manage the day-to-day operations? Who or what entities will be committed to providing capital for the LLC? Will the LLC be included in any type of trust, whether it be revocable or irrevocable? All right, number 1, what state to incorporate your LLC? Now, the state in which you choose to incorporate your LLC will determine the set of laws and regulations that govern your LLC. You do not have to incorporate your LLC in the state in which you reside. You have a whole total 49 additional states that you can incorporate your LLC in. Now, if you decide to incorporate your LLC in another state other than the one you reside, then you would make your LLC a foreign entity within your home state. In the reverse, when you incorporate your LLC in your home state and decide that you want to branch out to other states, you will then be incorporating the LLC as a foreign entity in those other states. Now, there are fees associated with both decisions. Check with the Secretary of State for each of those states to determine those fees and requirements. Doesn't matter how you flip that pancake, make sure that you have on hand and you submit a signed copy of the Articles of Incorporation for approval to become an incorporated entity in any state. All right, number 2, what organizational structure to use? Well, first of all, you need to know what an organizational structure is. And it's basically a system that outlines how certain activities are directed in order to achieve the goal of the organization. It is, essentially your guidelines. It's your system, your MO. And there are basically 4 fundamental organizational structures that are used in business, okay? We got simple, we got functional, we got multi-divisional, and we got the matrix. And in the event one particular structure does not fit your needs, it is always acceptable to combine and make a hybrid, okay? Whatever works best for the LLC is what works best, and it is, preferred that you outline that immediately in the first fundamental steps, okay? That's what's preferred. All right, next, who will be the members of the LLC. Now, we have essentially, a few different classes. We have like the regular members, ordinary Joes, family, all of that. Members own a percentage of the LLC, and the operating agreement will outline who owns how much. Next, we have managing members, aka managing directors, okay? If they're a managing member of the LLC, number one, they have ownership in the LLC because they're a member. Number two, they are managers, and the companies are vested in their managers. The managers oversee the day-to-day operations, or they delegate as needed. Okay? The membership or members of the LLC are detailed in the operating agreement. And on top of the managing members, we have equity members. Equity members provide capital for the benefit of the LLC in exchange for receiving equity payments when the LLC profits. Okay? So, in theory, managing members have the option to also be equity members, because if they are vested in the LLC's success, then they are vested in the success of the LLC. Y'all get what I'm saying? What percentage will each member own? The LLC is to be viewed as a pie chart. Each member owns a portion. The total shares of the LLC must always equal 100%. There is no other option. And this is just my 2 cents. There is no family in business. There are no friends in business. Business is just that, business. And as such is a separate and unique entity. While members should own, family members, they should own a part of the business. They should benefit. But that doesn't mean that some family members or friends should own a part of the business. And y'all understand what I'm saying, because not everyone in your boat may be rowing for you or with you. Okay? Some people talk to you to talk about you. Some people are not there to keep you afloat. They are there to sink you. And that can be family members, or aka friends, acquaintances, homies, homegirls, whatever it is you want to call them today. Managing members and equity members. Okay. A managing member, they do exactly what their title states. They manage the LLC's day-to-day operations. And as with any other member, these members own part of the LLC. Equity members, those are the members who have provided capital funding for the LLC. These are persons and or entities, and they're also regular members, once again, who own a percentage of the LLC. Being an equity member, though, provides for distributions when the LLC makes a profit. Therefore, they are personally vested in the success of the LLC. Members can be equity members. They can be managing members. They can just be the ordinary class of members. But each class, each member is dictated and recorded in the LLC operation agreement. So, what happens should a member become incapacitated, pass away, or just decide to transfer his, her, their interest in an LLC? All right. When a member becomes incapacitated or passed away, we know death is a part of life. Incapacitation may also be a part of life, and as such, these situations must be properly addressed in the first version of the operation agreement, okay? It's hard to go back and try and amend an operating agreement to account for these type of situations. You need to, clarify and dictate the processes in the first version, okay? And as a precautionary, preventative measure, each member should be required to have a beneficiary in the event of incapacitation or death, because the beneficiary will be able to have or, exercise the powers associated with that particular member. A TOD, transfer on death, does not work with LLC interests, okay? If people keep telling you that, they are giving you bad advice, okay? A transfer on death, a TOD, a TOOD is for real estate, okay, and real property, like a car, okay, a house, a car, a trailer, a shed, something like that. It does not work with the interest in a LLC or corporation. Once again, anyone telling you to do a TOD, TOOD, they're giving you bad advice, and you need to verify what they're telling you, because it is not right. The election of beneficiaries is to be filed with each version of the operation agreement for the LLC, and that is to ensure the proper guidance regarding the transfer of interest, okay? Who's going to manage the LLC's day-to-day operations, okay? The task of managing the LLC's day-to-day operations are usually left to the managing members, aka managing directors, and as reflected by the flow chart, okay? The managing directors have their own specialty that they manage normally, okay? And there could be anywhere between 3 to 8 managing members for an LLC. The executive, the finance, the operation, the technology, the administrative, the legal, the marketing, the customer relations. Those are the big ones, all right? Will the LLC be included in a trust of any kind, revocable or irrevocable? Trusts require an EIN from the IRS, and normally a trust is used for asset protection. Now, as the name states, revocable trust. The revocable trust is able to be amended, changed during the time, that the beneficiary is alive. Once the beneficiary passes away, the trust immediately converts to an irrevocable trust. There are no more changes that can be made. It's done lock, stock, and barrel. So the trust needs to be reevaluated constantly to ensure proper asset protection. Meaning you need to have a list of them assets attached to that trust. That's an exhibit. Okay? You need to have a list of assets of the LLC attached to the trust to ensure proper asset protection. Okay? Revocable trust can contain almost anything: bank accounts, personal and business, real property, homes, vehicles, other stuff. Personal and business, personal property, cash, cash, cash. Any other items, property which are allowed by law, depending on the state, that can be included in a revocable trust. And every state has its own legislative guidance. Okay, if you are unsure, if you are shaky, that is okay. Contact a lawyer. This is what they do. This is what they do. Okay, this is their profession. If you are unsure, and that's fine, there is nothing wrong with that. Contact a lawyer, get some guidance. Okay, that's what they do. And there it is. That is the conclusion of episode 1 of After the EIN series. And you know what? Episode 2 will be coming to you shortly. Thank you. And don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe to the channel. And I'll be talking to you soon.